Welcome to Folios, the Meter Center's presentations on items from its rare book collection. Today we're going to continue talking about psalms and psalters, and I want to talk a little more about the practice of psalm singing. Because when Protestants learned in the Reformed communities to sing the psalms, it wasn't obvious how that would go, right? You had to teach psalm singing, and they did this in a number of ways. Children in Geneva in school, in the Latin school, had an hour of psalm singing a day, so they learnt the psalms very, very well. And they, in fact, at some times served as essentially a training choir to lead the congregation in the singing of the psalms. Geneva and other Reformed areas also hired people to lead the singing. In French, they were known as un chantre, in Dutch as a voorsinger. And these people's role was to set the note, the starting note, and sometimes also to sing out a line to give people the tempo, to make sure that they were all following along. In its most instructive form, they could do what is called lining out, where the person who is leading the singing would sing a line and the congregation would sing it back, and so on and so forth through a psalm. That was a good instructional method. So they have all these different ways of teaching psalm singing. And in terms of knowing what it would have sounded like, it's very interesting because what tended to happen over time is that psalm singing slowed down because it was unaccompanied. And normally when people sing unaccompanied, there's just this thing that happens that everybody just slows down, becomes slower and slower. But as far as we know, the singing of psalms in the 16th century was not done in sort of lugubrious, slow tempo. It was done more up-tempo, more in a more accelerated fashion. And we know that because we know that by the 17th century, at the Synod of Dort, for instance, there are complaints that the psalm singing has slowed down, right? Has become very slow and very hard to follow. So I want to give you an example of what it might have sounded like. So obviously I don't have a full congregation. I can't do that. But I can sing a psalm for you. So I'm going to sing Psalm 47. And this is a text, again, which is set to be reasonably up-tempo. It's a relatively cheerful psalm in terms of the text. So I'm going to sing you 3 verses in French, unaccompanied, of Psalm 47. Or si tous humains frappez en vos mains, connoyez sonnez, connoyez entonnez, le nom solennel de Dieu éternel. C'est le Dieu très haut que craindre il nous faut, le grand roi qui fait sentir en effet sa force au travers de tout l'univers. Sous notre pouvoir, il nous fera voir les peuples abattus, et humiliés mettra sous nos pieds. C'est lui qui a parmi notre part de Jacob l'honneur auquel le Seigneur s'est montré surtout aimable et doux. Pardon, le voici qui s'en vient ici, à grand cri de voix, à son de hautbois. Voyons arrivant le grand Dieu vivant. Chantez-moi, chantez de Dieu les bontés. Chantez-moi, chantez le droit puissant roi, car il est le Dieu régnant en tout lieu.